All right, we are back for another episode of Straight Talk with Post Grad Recruits. Tonight we have Coach Austin Silvoy. Coach Silvoy, how you doing tonight, man?
Man, I'm fantastic, Chris. Appreciate you having me on.
Man, I'm excited to have you on. I can't say too much yet because of the game we're about to play, but I'll have more to say. I have more to say. All right, so we play a game to try to get people to know, just so people can get to know you a little different. We know the media likes to talk to coaches, and they always think they know them. So this game is you think you know me. All right, so we're gonna ask you some questions. Oh, I'm gonna ask the guys some questions. If they get it right, you say you think you know me. If they get it wrong, you say you don't know me like that. All right. Can everybody hear me all right? No echoes or anything?
No echoes. Everything crystal.
All right. So the first question, I'm going to go with Freeman. I'm going to go with you first. All right. Coach Silvoy, his alma mater is Middle Tennessee, Florida Atlantic, or Troy?
Lee, see, now that's a confusing question. Now, hold on. Look at you, man. So it got to be Troy. But I wanted to say Middle Tennessee. But I'm just going to go with Troy now.
Now, does John get a chance to chime in? Or?
Yeah, that's on you now. Is he right? Is he right, Coach Silvoy?
You know me like that, man.
Hey, let's get it.
What years were you at Troy, Silvoy? Tell the people when you were at Troy.
2006 to 2010.
The reign of the five-time champion, baby. Yep. That's when
red shirt freshman all the way to senior year, 5 times straight.
Hey, he got 5 rings. So I came in 2008, so I don't have as many. I got 2 of those things. Silvoy got a ring on every finger.
Man, you played
3 years would be just the best times of our lives, man.
Right.
That's it. What position you play?
No, hold on. Don't even ask. Don't answer that yet. Don't answer that yet. Don't answer that yet, Silvoy. You trying to cheat. So, second question, man. Which is exactly what Freeman asked. Which position? This is for you, Coach Anderson. Which position did Silvoy play? Quarterback, receiver, or free safety?
Oh, I got this. Oh,
he played receiver.
You're a cheater, man. You did too much research.
Anybody's looking at me saying he played receiver. So.
Quarterback out the rip.
Yeah.
Silvoy played receiver, man.
With some harder questions, huh?
You said some harder questions.
Slot receiver.
Say that again, Silvoy.
I said I played slot receiver, which was our Y position in that offense.
Okay. So you the. So honestly, you didn't have anyone covering you except for linebackers, so that means you got open a lot.
Now hold on. Now them safeties would try to drop down and play a little one-on-one with me, so I got some good one-on-one opportunities. But yeah, most of the time I was in the trenches trying to get through all the big nasties. So.
Oh yeah.
That's when you got to catch them passes that everybody give you them alligator arms right there.
Oh yeah.
You go like this. but we had some. Silvoy was blessed to have some great quarterbacks, so they knew where to put it for him.
That, man. We had so many great quarterbacks during that time. Levi Brown, Corey Robinson, Omar Hoggabook. And then Jamie Hampton, got hurt, but
you're right.
We had some dudes.
Right, some dudes, man. So third question, Freeman.
Let's get it.
All right, so Coach Silvoy's first coaching job in college was Central Oklahoma, Troy, or Florida Central Tech?
Man,
Florida Tech. I'm sorry, Florida Tech.
Florida Tech. I will say your first coaching job. Are we talking about grad assistant? Because no, grad assistant, you get to stay home.
You trying to get tips? No, with his first coaching job. We talking about his first when he stepped on the college campus and got his own position to coach.
Okay, Coach, I'm gonna ask you this: where you from, Coach?
Am I allowed to answer that? Or
Yeah, you can answer that.
I'm from Florida.
All right, Florida Tech. Bam, we worked that out. Florida Tech.
The man came down
like
to
that.
Central Oklahoma and played football.
There you go. There you go. I started my coaching career as a grad assistant at Central Oklahoma, right outside of Oklahoma City, and spent a year there. And then I got a new job at Florida Tech.
Okay.
When were you coaching in Oak City?
That was 2011. So I graduated. I graduated May of 2010, and I went out there that summer for the 2010-2011 season.
Great.
Year, and then Florida Tech.
I'm in Oklahoma now, Coach. So when I saw that, my eyes lit up.
Oh, what you said? OKC?
Oklahoma's my home.
Okay. Yeah, I loved it out there. I really did. Good place, good ball.
Yeah.
So
good ball.
You know anything about Central Oklahoma, Coach?
I don't know much about Central Oklahoma. I'm an OU guy, OSU, TU, and then I played at Cameron way back in the day when they don't even have a football team anymore.
Cameron.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Cameron. You heard of Cameron University up in Lawton?
I have not.
Not okay.
They didn't have ball. I hadn't heard of them. That's for sure.
No, they didn't have it. I think they canceled. They stopped their season about 3 years after I graduated.
Oh yeah.
They just
so you gonna tell your age? You gonna tell your age right now and tell us when you graduated?
Oh my.
Game. I bet all three of y'all's ages together, and I still are happy.
We're about to take this.
Keep it on, Coach. Let's
this
keep
show
it on,
outside.
Rolled up sleeves. He's like, hey, I can't.
All right, last question, man. Last question. So, what off-field tasks did Coach Silvoy have for Florida Tech? Quality control, graphic designer, or player personnel?
Quality control.
Freeman, go ahead. Chime in, Freeman.
Coach Adams, he was research, man. He probably called down Florida Tech. Hey, what y'all had him at? I can't bet against Coach, man. I can't bet against Coach.
Oh, man.
You have to understand something, Coach Terry.
Yes, sir.
A lot of the stuff I did was like, intelligence gathering, background research. Yeah.
Okay.
So I know how to dig up some information.
No,
so go ahead and tell them.
One of the most unique
Chris,
jobs I had.
Chris, we need to start keeping score.
You said keep score?
Yeah, every time we have a show, we need to keep score so he can be 20-0, or he can be 0-20 and I can be 20-0.
Oh, okay. He trying to make it competitive now.
They gonna help you research.
So Silvoy, tell him what job you had off field.
So I was actually the graphic designer. So I was on Photoshop, and I pretty much created the Photoshop game when it came to college football. Like y'all see what it is. I was a pioneer.
Right. You started.
Nobody was doing it back then, but I had to get in there and find a way to stand out. So yeah, I was the graphic designer at Florida Tech.
Hey, that's it.
So I thought I knew you then, huh?
You thought you did,
Man, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. I had to look when I was looking up my questions, trying to figure out how I was gonna stump you, Coach Anderson. I was like, "This is a good one right here. This
that is a good one. That is a good one.
Hold on now, but you were quality control, because you did do it.
I was quality control at Middle Tennessee.
Okay.
There you go. See?
Yep.
But that don't give you no points towards that question, though. You don't get points towards that question.
Oh my! Yeah. You guys got me.
All right, man. That's just something we like to do, man, to try to spice this thing up, man. But Coach, I mean, tell us a little bit more about you. Let everybody know a little bit more about you, man.
Well, just kind of my life story and kind of how I got to where I was and where I'm at now is grew up in the state of Florida, played ball at Nice High School, right outside of Jacksonville. We ended up winning a state championship my senior year and ended up going to play at Troy, played receiver, and ended up winning 5 conference championships. And after my career was done, I got hurt my senior season and kind of led me into the coaching world. Didn't really, have any idea that I wanted to do it until I got hurt. Just being able to impact the guys that I was playing with led me down that career path. So went to University of Central Oklahoma for a year. Had the opportunity out there, then got the opportunity to come back home to Florida and got a job at Florida Tech startup program. So we got to lay down the foundation, the traditions, the culture, and start something really special there. But the program a little bit after we started, hoping they're going to bring it back, but we'll see. And then ended up getting a quality control job. Middle Tennessee with my former offensive coordinator when I was playing at Troy, Tony Franklin. He gave me a chance to come in and prove myself. Spent a year there, and then Coach Stockstill gave me the opportunity to take over the receiver room. Very grateful for, and worked there until 2020, and then made that move to Austin Peay to be co-offensive coordinator, pass game coordinator, and wide receivers coach. And ended up finishing my career there. But my career,
the coaches and great program. So it was a fun ride.
That's it, man. That journey is something serious right there, man. Coach, I'd love to hear all that you did, man. You just kept moving step by step, man. That, a lot of people call that God ordained. When you bounce around like that, and every step you take is a better step every time, man.
Right. Hey, stepping up that ladder the way Silvoy did is not an easy task.
Yeah,
it takes a lot of guys a while to get to that point.
Had a lot of good mentors along the way, and that's the big thing about it is, when you get an opportunity, you just got to make sure you're surrounded by good people, because I wouldn't have been able to progress without the people that I was surrounded by and the things that they taught me. So, I really was blessed to be put in those positions and to be able to keep moving. So, yeah, you're right, man. God had a lot to do with that. He put me around the right people.
That's it.
So, Coach, you have been on the NAIA level and the D1 FBS and FCS level. What are some of the main differences and similarities that you could identify for our listeners and our viewers?
Well, between all the different levels, football is football. The game is still the same. The preparation is still the same. The biggest difference from a coaching aspect is, the resources between each level. When I was at Florida Tech, in between game breakdowns, I was taking the laundry out, or I was cleaning up the field, or putting the in, or organizing the equipment room. Just you wear a bunch of different hats, and then kind of as the level went up, your responsibilities kind of zero in on football and recruiting. The FCS level, we had a lot of resources at Austin P, and that's one of the.
You broke up a little bit, Silvoy.
My cutout.
Yeah, you good now. Yeah. Can you hear? Can
No,
you guys
Yeah, I
hear
can hear you.
No, it was
Can you hear
breaking.
me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we
But
can now.
Austin, okay, gotcha. Runs their program like an FBS program, and they just gave us so many resources. So, I was able to hone in and really focus on, the responsibilities of game planning and recruiting, and then just the football aspect of it, and the recruiting side is, obviously FCS and Division II, you're building scholarship packages. So a lot goes into the recruiting. It's not as much about talent as it is about talent, academics, and does the money work. So there's a couple more ways you have to navigate through to handle the recruiting part. But other than that, the football is all the same.
Man, I just had a kid that get an offer from Austin P, and this kid, this was his first offer, and he's a hybrid. Like, this kid is a hybrid. He plays cornerback for us, but he's more of a slot corner, or that dog position. That's more what he is. That dog position where he can play outside linebacker and also cover that slot position at the same time. He's a freak of nature, but Austin P came in and gave him that offer, and he's been blessed that they run, like, Austin P run their program like a FBS school. Now, far as the resources go, how does that work out, Coach? I know you're not in compliance, but I know you know a thing or two about it. So I was just trying to see, how does that work, far as the athletics and the academics?
Well, we have,
At the FCS level to give as much aid as you want.
But in that structure, as a head coach, you're trying to get the most bang for your buck. It has high academic, and
Maybe he's bringing some grant money
to the table. Well, that makes it easier for the head coach to say, well, you know what? It only takes me half of a scholarship to make him a full scholarship, money wise. So they're able to just kind of work that stuff around. But as far as like when you get on campus and Austin P provides, I mean, they had a full-time nutrition cafeteria in-house in the stadium, where they're cooking up meals. They got snacks and anything and everything that you could want. You would never go hungry. So from a nutrition aspect, those are the resources you're getting. You're getting the academic resources, which basically you just sleepwalk through school because everything is scheduled out for you. When your tests are, when every assignment is due. You got a calendar that you go through, and they do a great job of making sure that those guys are guided in the right direction. And then on top of that, you're getting your housing paid for, if that's a part of your scholarship, books, and then a meal on campus. And then if you decide to live off campus, they'll actually give you a housing. So it gives you some freedom to live where you want to live, who you want to live with. And those are some of the resources that will go into, a scholarship.
Man, that's awesome right there. All the young people who are listening right now, I want you guys to really understand grades are important. Go to school, get your grades. If you just heard what Coach said, the higher the GPA is, the higher you score in your ACT, they can pull you from all over and bless you with it as far as getting that scholarship and playing on the next level. So I'm just letting you young cats know that. Go to school, get your grades. School is very important.
One of the positives that I heard was the nutrition program.
Oh, yeah.
Far from 3 meals a day, what we got.
Yeah.
And if you missed it was too bad.
This is next level now. I mean, it's so just kind of explain the structure. I mean, you walk into the facility, you walk in the weight room, they've got one room that's just stacked with protein shakes, hard-boiled eggs, tuna packets, just different snacks like that. That's kind of the snack room. And then you walk out of there, you walk into a little cafeteria, and they've got a blacktop grill that they're cooking eggs, bacon, waffles, and they're packing it in to-go boxes. And so when them guys get done working out, they got a full meal right there.
God. If it's too late for me, Coach, I only have 2 gray hairs.
Yeah. Oh, man, these guys are getting the royal treatment. It wasn't like that when we were at Troy, Chris.
Right. What they getting now is ridiculous, man. Their weight room is ridiculous too. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's how it is. Hey, when you win 5 championships, you pave the way for the next group.
Hey, that's it.
I think I'm going to have to go back and at least ask for a meal. I mean, I think I at least deserve that.
Oh, my.
Right.
Hey, all right.
Right. So what you got? Your next question, Coach Anderson?
Yeah. Coach, when recruiting, what do you look for in the student athlete, and what will get a kid on your radar?
Well, I think it's definitely different by each position, but I think something that covers all positions is, when I turn on film, whether it's a defensive lineman, offensive lineman, receiver, running back, maybe quarterback might be the only exception, but you want to see a guy that has quick twitch, that can change directions fast, and that's something that encompasses all positions. A lineman that you see pass set, and I mean he sees that defensive end knife inside, and he's able to adjust and step quickly to recover. Those are some of the things that I look for. That quick twitch ability. Then the skill positions. If I turn your tape on, and I don't see you run past somebody or run somebody down, I know there's an issue. I want to see speed. I want to see speed at those skill positions, because that's the one maker. If you got speed at the skill positions, it's going to be a hard day for that defense if they're not matching. Quick twitch, speed, and then production. Whatever position you play, whether it's offense, you're a skill guy, I want to see touchdowns. I don't want to turn on the film and see a bunch of first downs. I want to see you hitting your head on the goalpost. And, offensive line, defensive line, motor, tenacity, little nastiness. You want to see some film. And those are some of all the on the field.
Okay.
So how long? Go ahead, Coach.
You got it.
So I just wanted to ask, because kids don't realize how coaches really look at film. We usually do a film breakdown, but we might not get to that tonight. But when you first turn on that highlight, first off, how long does it take you to look at a highlight to know, okay, this kid, I want to see more?
Well, 11 years in, it took me 2 plays. The first 2 plays, all right, I need to keep watching, or it's time to move on, because
Right.
I had a pipeline with about 1,000 kids in there, and so you got to be strategic. Otherwise, you're not going to evaluate everybody. So
Right.
that's why the art of the highlight film is so important. Like those first 2 clips, they got to jump, and
Right.
it's got to scream, recruit me. Like I'm a difference maker, and it's, it's you just got to have that wow factor at whatever position you're playing. But it's got to be the first 2 plays for me.
Man, I mean, kids don't realize that a lot, because sometimes you see highlights with 5-10 minutes on it. You be like, I don't, I'm not gonna get to minute 10.
And if it's a kid that I like, I might only watch a minute of the highlight film. I might say, all right, he's good, and I'll put him in the bucket, and then we'll watch him as a staff together, and maybe watch a little bit more of it. But if I see something I like and I'm like, he's got some potential, there's something about him, boom, I just mark him down. I pass him along to the position coach, and because there's so many kids you got to evaluate. So it's you got to keep it moving.
Right. I mean, and I had a conversation with Coach Edenfield one time. I said, Coach, man, what do you look for? Why don't you like this kid? He said, well, I like him, but the running back coach didn't like him. He said, man, it's all the eye of the beholder. He said, the eye of the beholder,
And you can't get caught in your feelings when somebody that you love doesn't get loved the same way in that other position, man, because it happens every day.
Coach, do you have a grading system?
So each program has a rating system. Just to give you kind of an example of how most programs structure their rating system, say an A. Well, first of all, some programs like FBS, Group of 5, and FCS programs, they'll label some kids out of reach. So I might watch a 4-star, but he's got, every SEC offer. We just rate him out of reach. And then a level below that is like, that's an offer kid. That's an A rating offer. We will take him right now if he wants to commit. A B would be an offer manage. Like maybe it's a camp offer. We like him, but we want to see more of him. We want to get to know him more. So it's kind of that middle rating where you're going to offer him, but it might not be committable. It might be a camp offer, and just come to camp with me one-on-one, and then we'll bump you up to that A. And then C would be a recruitable kid. You like something about his film. There's a few guys that are above him on the board, but you're going to recruit him, every week or every 2 weeks, that he's got a chance to be a player for you. And then the D-F ratings, you're really just, a D rating. You like something about them, but they're more of like a walk-on guy for you.
Mm-hmm.
You think that they can grow within your program and maybe turn into a scholarship program, and then you got an F, which is just your rejects.
Right. Guys, somebody said, man, you'll love this kid. And you said, I'll look at him for you. Yeah, I looked at him. I gave him a look.
2 plays, I figured it out.
Yeah, it's good, just not good for here. Freeman, you was about to say something?
Yeah, I was going to ask, what would make you guys like come to a game and watch a player? Like, is that an A-B guy? Or is that an AB guy? Is that somebody that you're looking at it, something about him, but he's a hardworking kid and all that type of stuff.
That's a good question.
He's coming in this position.
This is where it gets strategic as a college, because you can only hit so many areas in so many days. We're limited by the recruiting calendar, so really, you want to see those A and B guys if they're in your wheelhouse. Say, you got a B guy, he didn't come to camp. Well, that might be another opportunity to see him. But But say, there's a B guy and then there's a C guy in that area and you're there. Well, you might say, well, I'm just going to go check them out, make sure I'm not missing on anything. So it really just depends on kind of your route and your schedule on the recruiting trail. Maybe we're playing Memphis that week. Okay, well, we're in Memphis. We got a day to go recruit. We got 3 kids. One's an A, one's a B, one's a C. If we can hit all 3 of those games, might do it, but really just those A and B guys. The A's, you're just going to show love and say, hey, look at me, I'm on the sideline. Here we are. We're here, man. Like, we're supporting you. And then the B guys, you're showing love, but you're also evaluating at the same time.
Okay. That was a good question, because a lot of guys try to figure it out. A lot of guys, even when I was in school, like, man, why they go see him? And I just did the same thing over here, you know what I mean? So a lot of kids ask that question.
This is how I actually got my scholarship offer to Ole Miss. We were playing against number 1. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. We were playing against number 1 team in the state of Georgia, and this was what's the name of the school? Douglasville at the time, and Douglasville had the number 3 ranked guard in the nation. And I was like, I didn't even know they had a ranking of the nation, because my small thinking, being from Memphis, never going to a camp or anything like that, or didn't know what a camp was. We didn't have any of this internet stuff. We play against Douglasville, and I just dominate this guy. And I, not knowing who he was or anything like that. And after the game, like when I say dominate, I had 22 tackles this game as a zero tech. That's what I'm saying. As a nose guard, that don't supposed to happen.
No,
it don't supposed to happen at all. But it happened. I just had a different type of strength. But what happened was I hit I tipped the pass. You know how the quarterbacks, they always throw the ball, and us defensive linemen jump up and smack, and the ball popped up right into my hand, and I took off, and that was all she wrote. I took off, scored the touchdown, and right after the game, coach walked on the field and said, "I want you," and he just kept telling me that over and over again. That's when things started to change. But I was deep into my junior year. I want to say that was like the last game of the year or something like that, and we were a team who were 500, and we got our butts handed to us that game. We actually got killed, but they came out to the game. I guess they were there to show him love, and when they came and watched him, they saw me shine. So you never know where your breakthroughs come from. You never know where your blessings come from. But that was actually how I started my full recruiting, because until that point, I had no college out to me except Stillman College. That was it.
Yeah,
that was home school.
Know who's gonna show up at the game, and who's gonna see you, walk up and just watch one play of you and say, "Whoa, all right, I need to look into this guy." All it takes is one play. One opportunity, to just see something flash.
Because pretty much if you've done it once, you can do it again. We just got to figure out how to get you to do it consistently. That's what it comes down to. It's like, I've seen you do it, so I know you can do it. We just got to get you to do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes down to.
How much weight do you put on a football IQ when it comes to a new recruit?
What way do you put on football IQ when it comes to a recruit?
He broke up a little bit.
Yeah, I got it.
You broke up a little bit.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
So really, when it comes down to, usually we you talk a little bit of ball on the phone, but most of the time you're just trying to develop that relationship. And then what I like to do is, when you get them on campus, get them on the board and see how much football they know, and then see how much football they can learn in a short amount of time. So, first of all, I'd say, hey, show me your favorite concept, and see how much detail they put into it. Route depths, angles coming back to the ball, and maybe they would know the quarterback's progression. That would be huge for me. And then I would actually teach a concept that we have, and then we'd be talking, and then I'd say, all right, what did I say about the post curl route on our cross concept, and see if he could retain that information and learn it. But it definitely goes a long way. Not to say that I would not take a kid because he doesn't have football IQ, because that's why they pay us as coaches, is to be great.
So but it definitely is an added bonus. Like
If I know a kid is smart, his development is gonna grow at a quicker rate than a guy that's got to think too much. So I keep it in mind, but at the same time, I'm always going to take ability over, that IQ if the ability is really good.
Man, so you've been in Tennessee quite some time. We gonna get off the topic some and just talk some football. You've been in Tennessee, man. So the talent, and you've traveled. What's up with the University of Tennessee, man? Why can't they get it together? I know you know the talent there. I mean, is the talent there? Like, what's going on?
I got an answer for that. I'm gonna let you go.
You got an answer for that?
Yeah.
I think they're actually on a track right now. Their offense was explosive this year, and that hasn't been the case at the University of Tennessee for quite some time. Josh Heupel is an offensive mind, and the way that they run their offense it's amazing. I think the University of Tennessee probably just needs some consistency, and if Josh Heupel stays there, for 5 years or more, I think that's what the University of Tennessee needs, because you saw some really good stuff from them this year, and they were more competitive than they've ever been.
Yeah.
And I really admire their style of offense and how they would march up and down the field at a quick pace and get the ball out in space. So I'm actually high on University of Tennessee right now. I'm going to be watching them closely this year, because I think they're going to surprise some people.
Yeah.
And make some waves in the SEC. So we'll see.
That east side of the SEC used to be the east side, of the easy side. Everybody would call it, SEC East is easy. So they say SEC East. That's what they call it. Instead of saying SEC East, they say SEC Easy. But I'm telling you, there's a few teams that are just, dominating right now that you really have to sit back and observe. Like University of Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, those teams right now are just strong and competitively. Now, the other teams, they have a little work to go. But Tennessee, that I love what you said about the offensive coordinator, because I was going to highlight that point also. But Tennessee normally recruit a lot of kids from Memphis. And since they stopped getting those kids out of Memphis and Nashville, those kids from Memphis and Nashville have been going to all the other schools. A lot of that, talent that they were getting or accustomed to flowing through that program, it kind of died off. But you'll see, like, University of Memphis, because a lot of kids staying home now and playing at the University of Memphis. And Memphis is dominant right now. Like, I can tell you this right now. If you're a local kid.
I don't know about dominant. I had to cut you off right there. I don't know about dominant, but they good.
Man, they outside the Power 5. Think about this. And they're blasting their way through
Memphis
like competition.
is still in the American League, right?
Yeah, they're in the the American Athletic Conference.
Yeah, they're in the American League with TU. And they're going to lose Houston this year. So yeah, man, who they going to really have in terms of competition?
Yeah, Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Who they gonna have in terms of competition?
UCF always good.
Houston's gone. Huh?
UCF always good. It's a lot of changes this year.
UCF is talking about going to the Big 12.
Well, you got to think about this. The Big 12 then lost Oklahoma and Texas to the SEC.
Yeah, but I understand that. But still, the Big 12 is not going to be a joke because OSU is pretty good. Baylor's still good. So, but we're not here to talk about those. We want to talk about Josh Heupel. And because I want to say that, Josh Heupel, he got some good pedigree behind him coming from OU. And he's been with several winning programs. So he has a lot to offer, and I think he's going to do a great job there at Tennessee.
Is that where he came from? I didn't know that he came from OU.
Well, Heisman, man.
Yeah. I knew he was gonna remember OU.
Freeman, I got you off track. You about to enlighten us more on Memphis, but I had to interrupt on that part.
Hey, Coach, they are dominant in their conference. That's what it takes.
I give you that. Okay, I give you that.
Okay, there you go.
And if you look at it, you guys, Memphis is having those draft picks now. Just think about it, the last 3 drafts. Those were local kids coming out.
Yeah.
They started with so many schools. I forgot about Memphis actually, but that just made me think about the fact there's so many schools in Tennessee. Is it hard to recruit against all those schools being in Tennessee?
Just depends on what school you're at. Austin Peay. Yeah. You're not competing against those guys. I mean, those guys get who they want. But Middle Tennessee, I mean, you're competing against Vandy. You're competing against Memphis. You're even competing against University of Tennessee. So it's a very competitive state, and it gets pretty heated. But Memphis has local talent, which has elevated their program tremendously, and with a lot of battles when I was at Middle Tennessee. Between Memphis and a couple guys that were being recruited by Vandy as well. So it's a highly competitive state when it comes to FBS ball.
I don't know how much I really compete against Vandy. I mean, Vandy don't seem to recruit very much at all. I don't know. They say if you got a 4.0, come on. We got a spot. Oh man! But let's talk some offense, Coach. Let's talk some offense, man. What kind of offense did you gravitate towards when you started get in that mode of being the offensive coordinator?
Well, starting playing in the offense at Troy, that was when the no huddle spread offense really started to evolve, and so that's where my roots are. And so, I really do have a lot of appreciation for the spread offense. And then what I've evolved even further from just all my different stops is, I love spreading the defense out and using the entire field, which University of Tennessee does. Baylor was the real first team that was known to do it. And really force the defense to declare what they're doing, because when you're not using the entire field and you're just all inside the numbers, well, now the defense, can midpoint players and send the nickel in late on a blitz. Well, when you use the whole field, you have to show your hand as a defensive coordinator. When your slot's lined up 15 yards away from the tackle, that nickel's going to have to show that he's coming. Otherwise, he's never going to get there. So that's one thing I picked up when I was at Austin Peay that I'm a real big believer in. And then just the RPO game, being a football, but putting the side defenders in conflict and forcing those guys to be hesitant and play both. But I'm a big counter power run game guy, and I want to be able to line up in multiple formations and take shots and get the ball out in space, but at the same time, I want to be able to run the ball vertical. So I really picked up a lot of the philosophy and a lot of beliefs when I was at Austin Peay. A lot of the stuff that we did, I'm a real big believer in. And if I would have gotten another job and stayed in in the college coaching world, I probably would have used that same offense, with a couple little wrinkles, that I have. But I'm a big believer in all that.
So, Coach, did you ever recruit guys that run that type of offense, or you would recruit a guy? Just say you a running back. Would you take a running back from a veer style offense, or would you try to recruit guys from that type of offense, that spread power behind it?
Yeah, in my opinion, I would want to see a more versatile back, that did a little bit more in that offense. Not to say that I wouldn't look at a guy in a veer or a wing wing offense or some sort of option style offense, but you just get to see them do a little bit more, in those multiple offenses.
That's true. I got one more question to ask. So you're an offensive coordinator, and I'm a run game coordinator. I love setting up the run game and perfecting the run game. I love it from the spread. I want to know how far do you keep your outside receivers and the inside receivers when you open it up trying to run that football?
So the outside receivers, they're about 3 yards from the sideline. So they're out there, and then the inside receivers. If you're running the ball, I mean, we want those inside receivers probably about anywhere from 8 to 10 yards from the outside receiver.
Okay.
So, you're really spacing the field. On a college field, the outside receivers are on the 3 yards from the sideline, and the inside receivers are on the pro numbers. They're splitting the hash in the numbers. So you're talking about 15 yards between the tackle and the slot receiver.
Hey, that's it. Sure. Line play. I know the school I'm at, we got a full yard apart from each other. So it's a lot of running space. I tell my guys, you don't have to be a hero. The old days of getting up at the old Larry Allen days are over with. You don't have to be down and dirty and win a bloody knuckle fight at the end of that. You on somebody and shield. The game has changed.
Keep leverage and keep your guy moving.
That's it. Feet, hand, hips. Feet, hips, hand all day.
Freeman's actually in Florida right now. What school are you at again, Freeman?
Central Florida Christian Academy.
Okay, cool.
Florida Christian Academy. And we got a lot of Division I talent. A lot of guys are getting offers now, and it's a beautiful thing to see the process. When I first got at the school, we were ranked 523 in the state, and right now we're at 230 or 240. No, 232. That's what it is. 232. And to see no Division I athletes to now we have 6 D1 athletes, like offer wise. Now those offers get pulled any day, but in this now moment, I would say I'm still there. So it's good to see 6 D1 offer guys, and we got a couple of guys be a couple of Division II guys. But I'm most proud in the smallest. This guy is he's I want to say what he's. That's his true height. His huddle says 6 feet, 6'1". You know how those guys boost huddle up. But anyway, he's a 5'11" defensive end, and this guy, nobody can block him. I'm talking about he always got pass breakups. He forcing the quarterback to get uncomfortable in the pocket every play. Like what he do in between the whistle is just so amazing. Then he'll flip over and play center. So it's a lot of
Hey, that's how it is. That's how it is in high school. But Freeman, it was something you said. Freeman, it was something you said when you just it made me something click that I wanted to ask Silvoy. And Silvoy, I know you probably gonna try to get a college job again one day, so you can tread lightly. but you said something about pulling scholarship offers. What's the quickest way for a kid to get their offer pulled? Because kids don't understand that just because you got that offer, it can be pulled very quickly. I've seen it happen a few times. So what's a way that's going to get pulled very quickly?
One of the most common probably reasons that I came across is just, when you talk to the high school coach and because you're always, if you're a good recruiter, you're talking to the high school coach a lot, and you're saying, hey, how's Johnny doing? Well, he's in the weight room, but he ain't been busting after it. Like he's just kind of cruising. And so good high school coaches always keep it honest with us, and so just I guess when guys get lackadaisical and they get they think that they got an offer and that they don't have to keep working and striving just to better themselves throughout the rest of the season. That's one of the biggest reasons that kids get offers pulled. Social media content is huge. If there's drugs, alcohol, even if you're liking it, I looked at everybody's likes. So if I went to your likes and you're liking drugs or drinking or even degrading stuff about women, if I saw that, done. It just no brainer, done. Like it wasn't even a question. Well, there's too many good players out there, all right, to because that's who you are. You're showing everybody who you are by what you like, not necessarily just what you post. And so that's a huge thing that can get an offer pulled. Those are kind of the main reasons, why you'd pull an offer, or maybe it didn't get pulled, but the offer expired. Somebody else committed, or you waited too long, or even sometimes scholarship numbers change. Hey, we need to take this scholarship and use it for that position. So it's not necessarily anything that the person did, but the program had to make some adjustments, and they had to sacrifice that scholarship to help out another position.
Man, that's it. All you young guys, I hope you're paying attention.
You would think they would, but
But it's interesting you say that, because even I'm working security right now, and the things that I do when we hire somebody, the first thing I do, or even a background search, is that I go to their Facebook page, because it will tell you everything. And it's important for youngsters to understand that what they put online is there for the rest of their life, and some of it is just difficult to get over with. So I'm glad that you said that. I think it's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Another thing kids don't realize, and I saw it a lot, playing at Ole Miss, those yearly meetings, and at the end of the year, coach decide if he gonna pull that scholarship or not. When they sign, they think they sign in 4 years, where they just automatically guaranteed. And I tell my guys all the time, that scholarship is yearly renewable. That's why when you go sit in that office and talk to the coach at the end of the year, he gotta have something that he liked about you, some progress that you had, your energy had to be good or something for him to sign you on for that next year. And I tell guys that a lot. Have you ever had to deal with that, coach? You sit a guy down in the office and actually have to pull the plug on him?
Oh yeah, I've had to do it to some really talented individuals too. But at the end of the day, we're all going to have talented guys within our program. But are you adding value other than the physical aspects to the program? And that's a huge thing. Culture this day and age for a program can take you from a 5-5 mediocre team to a championship team. It just really, and the chemistry, the camaraderie, the leadership, it just elevates talent. And when you have a guy that is taking away energy or focusing on just himself, or having the victim mentality of oh well, I'm getting coached hard, he must not like me, that type of mentality, you're never going to survive, and you're not going to add anything to the program. So if you just continue that, we're better off without you. And I've had to have those tough conversations, and it takes guys about 4 years after that moment to realize, well, if I would have just a team guy and put my energy in the right places, I could have made something out of myself at that spot.
Right. Yeah. Man, I hope you guys listening out there that's watching, because Coach Silvoy dropping dimes. You don't get this information all the time. So, Coach, so a fun question is, who is a guy that you would that he might be in the league now or going to the league, or just, they just started camp and stuff. So that you would just have loved to coach, in college. They're like, man, I would have loved to just have that guy. Or if I could have 10 of those guys, I would love to have. Coaches say that all the time. I need 10 more of you. So coaches say that all the time. So who's a guy that you could think of, in the NFL or going to the NFL that you said, man, I wish I could coach that guy?
Oh man, maybe because I actually got to see this guy in person, and feel him out. But I really like Mike Evans from Tampa Bay.
Hey, let's get.
He is a tough-minded guy, and I got to go down and watch them practice not too long ago, and just his work ethic and his leadership. He's just a tough receiver, man. He's battled through some things, but that'd be one guy that I think I would really enjoy coaching. And if I had 11 Mike Evans, I'd be a Hall of Fame coach.
Right. I like to ask that question because everybody has a guy, especially while you're coaching. You have a kid that you coach or coached the previous year. I'm like, man, if I just had one more, if I had him this year, he'd be a game changer for me. If I had,
Hey, well, watch out for number 10 for Austin P. His name's
really
Craig from Tallahassee. If I had 11 of him at every spot that I was at, we win a lot of championships.
Really?
So,
I want to see this kid.
What'd you say, Freeman?
I said I can't wait to see him now.
Yeah. Coach, name a coach that impacted your career.
Oh, there's a lot of them. But just at Austin P, I think Coach Walden made a huge impact on me, and not just from a football aspect, but from a culture, from a spiritual aspect. I have a lot of respect for him, for the type of guy that he is day in and day out, the energy that he poured into the program, the energy that, he pours into his staff. I learned a lot from him, not just X's and O's. I learned a lot, but just the value of relationships, the value of that spiritual connection, and putting God first in everything that you do. He really changed my life from that standpoint and taught me a lot. So I would say Coach Walden, probably because he's most recent, and there's a lot. I could go down the list for days.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say I love this question because when you ask a coach that question, especially when they've been in the game, as long as you have, you've been through a lot of coaches throughout your lifetime, and when you can name a coach like that mean that's a special coach. That's a special guy, because we've all had many coaches, and so when you can name one off bat, that's when okay, this guy's special.
Yeah, and they all teach you something different. And
right.
Coach Stockstill at Middle Tennessee he was such a great mentor. Just the way he ran the program. He was the most organized guy I've ever seen. He was a year ahead of everybody, and just one of the most down to earth guys you could ever be around. And Coach Franklin. I played for him, coached for him. Probably one of the toughest minded individuals you'll ever meet, and just one of the most competitive guys you'll ever meet, but also a guy that cares deeply about his players and just as one of the most passionate coaches that I've ever worked for. And then Coach Englehart at Florida Tech was just another guy that brought a lot of energy and ran the program the right way. I mean, that's just a whole nother podcast right there. I don't want to leave anybody out, man. I got about names in my head.
I mean, when you've been playing and coaching for so long, man. I mean, people don't are, to a young boy's life, a young man's life, and a man's life. You know what I mean? How important and how much of an impact they play. So I mean, when you're not, it's sad when you find coaches that don't do it the right way because they don't even realize the impact they have, on the people around them. And they can change a life if they do things the right way. So I mean, you can go down the list for days because obviously you've had the right along your journey because you made some big steps, from playing to coaching. You made big steps in your career. So I mean, you've been blessed with being able to have, the right people around you.
Amen.
So we're gonna let you get up out of here, Coach. We got two more things, we always ask you just give the guys a word of wisdom before you get out of here. These kids that's watching and these players, so what's something that you can just hand these guys? I mean, and I'm sure you're probably gonna be around high schools and stuff now, back now that you're back, in Florida and things. You can't just kick the itch that easy. So so what's some of the things that you can just, some wisdom you can give to these guys?
I mean, just point blank, man, just be open to listen to everybody. You don't always have to agree, but at least listen and process information from your coaches, and that's the first things is just be open-minded. Don't be closed-minded. Be humble, and just work, man. And that's the thing about this game. Work into it. It doesn't do anything, but it does.
Say that again, Coach. You was breaking up. You get to the good stuff. You stupid Freeman. Say that again, Coach.
All right. So you're going to put all this hard work, into this sport. Doesn't guarantee you anything, but you are going to grow from it, and you are going to be better because of it. And you got to have dreams, you got to have aspirations. Remember, nothing is guaranteed.
Right. Absolutely.
All right, you got to hit him with the best question now.
Now, yeah, you got to put it on.
Now, let's get it. I hope you're ready, Coach.
You gonna ask it? Or you want me to ask it, Chris?
You can ask it. I'll hand the reins over and let you ask the question. Silvoy, you still with us? Maybe he might have broke up. They always want to break up I think they scared of the question. That's why.
Hey, that question
they always break up at the end. And he's dropping down.
We'll have to bring him back and just to ask him that question.
just get him on just for a second to ask that question.
That's it.
Yeah.
It always happens right at the end. But I mean, I've been listening because I mean he gave some knowledge and info that could be real helpful. Oh, there he goes.
Man, sorry.
There you go.
We're glad you're back. We're gonna put you on the spot now.
Oh, he froze up again.
Oh, did you?
I'm back.
No,
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Okay. So, Coach, the personality of the game, if you were a fruit, which would you be and why?
I feel like there's like a meaning behind each answer, and I'm worried if I pick the wrong one, I'll be labeled as so. I don't know.
You're okay.
The meaning is what you make the meaning to be.
Yes, definitely.
I think I would be an apple.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I'm very diverse. All right, very diverse. So apples, you put them in a salad. You eat them by themselves. You put them in a pie. All right, you candy them. I'm a very diverse individual, so I feel like I'm an apple. You can put me in all these different places, and I'm good.
Hey, right, I like it. I like it.
That's good.
I like that. I like that answer. Some people call themselves fruit that have no meaning at all. You're like, man, you just sweet and causing diabetes. That's all you're doing. But that's a good one, man. Because and it's the truth. It's the truth for sure. It's definitely the truth, man. Man, it's been fun though. It's been fun talking with you, man. I'm glad we got to catch up. I finally got you on here, man.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you guys and just the opportunity to be able to, share some things through my experience, and hopefully all that information helps out some of these guys around the country.
Hopefully.
And hopefully they're open to listen to it and process it, and hopefully that'll help them, further their career or just, make their experience better going forward.
All right. All right, we appreciate it, man.
Coach, tweet out that receiver you were talking about, so we can follow him.
I'm definitely.
I'll be retweeting and all that. Dre McCray.
Okay.
He's even got the name, man.
Right.
Dre McCray. That sounds good. Wait 1 second. Once we get our wait 1 second, guys, so I can make sure we get this saved, because we got to have this one. We got to have this one. What you about to say, Freeman?
No. That's an amazing name. Like Jamie Foxx.
Rolls off the tongue.
Like Jamie Foxx. Okay. Well, that's it. That's it for tonight, man. I hope everybody learned something and got some knowledge. We're gonna have Coach Silvoy back on again, man. I got more questions. So he spit some. He need to write a book. The secrets, the secrets of college football. But we appreciate y'all watching.